15 years ago, the future of Cincinnati's urban core looked bleak. Then Mayor Charlie Luken said something had to be done to close the divide between Over the Rhine and the Central Business District. That something was Cincinnati's Center City Development Corporation, better known as 3CDC. On the Business Courier front page centerpiece, CEO Steve Leeper's new mission at 3CDC to boost development in struggling areas within the Central Business District. Leeper was the featured speaker at the Courier's Commercial Real Estate Developers Power Breakfast last week. More than 500 developers, brokers, and business leaders heard Leeper talk about how 3CDC is shifting its focus to two sections of Cincinnati's urban core with the goal of filling dead space connecting the CBD and Over the Rhine. Since it was formed in 2003, the nonprofit 3CDC has been part of $1.3 billion in development in the city's core. Hundreds of new apartments and condos have been developed, along with restaurants and civic spaces from Fountain Square to Liberty Street. Now the nonprofit will focus efforts on the northern CBD, bordered by Central Avenue, 8th Street, Broadway, and Central Parkway, and the southwest quadrant bordered by Central Avenue, 4th, Elm, and 5th Streets. 3CDC is funded by corporate contributions and management and development fees. It's credited with helping Cincinnati regain its mojo, so much so that planners and leaders from other cities come here to learn how 3CD has accomplished so much. Business Courier reporter Tom Demeropoulos covers commercial real estate for the Business Courier and moderated last week's Power Breakfast discussion. He joins Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer in the studio to talk about the impact and what's next for 3CDC. Tom and Rob.
Thanks, Peg. Tom, thanks for being here. Great story and great job setting up our big breakfast that we have every year for the developers. Yeah. So talk to us, though, about why 3CDC, why Steve Leeper, why have they decided to kind of change their focus and change from really solely focusing on Over the Rhine?
Yeah, so Rob, I think a part of why 3CDC is looking to change where it's focusing its efforts is because they've had so much success already in Over the Rhine and kind of in the core of the CBD close to Fountain Square. And as they've seen that success, it kind of highlights areas that haven't seen as much investment. So you've got kind of this in-between land, call it from 7th Street to Central Parkway, that hasn't seen the same level of development. And you know, right now there's more activity north of Central Parkway on Vine than south of Central Parkway. So you know, now they're kind of taking a targeted approach to change that and bring new life and new vitality to kind of those connecting streets to try to really make a connection between the core of the city and what's happening in Over the Rhine.
Yeah, you're right. There is still a couple block gap in a lot of places all along downtown. What are some specific properties or some specific areas that 3CDC wants to focus on?
Yeah, so in particular, one of the projects they're working on is on Court Street. They're looking to do some redevelopment there, and a big part of that is the Court and Walnut Kroger apartment tower that's going up. That's kind of a project that is helping to bridge that gap between the two. And they see other opportunities on not just Court Street and Walnut Street, but they're looking at Race, they're looking at Vine, they're looking at Elm, kind of all those areas that connect the two parts of the city.
So let's veer a tiny bit away from the area we were just talking about. You just broke the news this week, actually, that they're going to be, 3CDC is going to be involved in buying some property just south of the convention center. Why is that so important?
Yeah, that's right, Rob. They're looking to buy about a 1.7 acre parcel. It's currently used as surface parking, and they're working with the Greater Cincinnati Redevelopment Authority to acquire that property. And the thinking there, according to Steve Leeper, is he says, it could be a lot of things. It could be a mixed-use development. It could be a large project, but honestly, they're already having conversations with hotel operators, and they're looking at that site as a potential new kind of headquarters hotel for the city of Cincinnati, which would be a huge benefit to the Conventions and Visitors Bureau business here in Greater Cincinnati.
Yeah, as it stands now, the Millennium, which is sort of that official convention center hotel, I mean, it's seen better days, frankly. It's fine for some people, but it's not to the level where you see the other hotels opening up around town. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. Hopefully you can stay on top of that story.
Definitely.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
And back to you.
All right, thanks, Rob and Tom. And as Tom mentioned, another of 3CDC's projects in the CBD centers around the new Kroger store coming to Court Street. The group is planning a $9 million redevelopment on Court between Kroger's headquarters and the new mixed-use building that will house the downtown grocery store. 3CDC plans to renovate 6 buildings on the north side of Court between Vine and Walnut Streets into 15 to 20 condominiums or apartments, as well as retail space. 3CDC hopes to start the project this year, and time it to open along with the downtown Kroger next summer.